Hello friends, welcome back to the new video. And in the new video today you can see that we are going to talk about the kingdom fungi, and I'm going to prepare concept map. Okay, so you can just prepare the concept map along with me, and in the one page we can cover the whole topic also. Okay, so making concept map is very must, okay, for you to learn and remember the things. Okay, so first of all we'll talk about the kingdom fungi. So it's a unique kingdom of organism. Okay, why it is unique? Because it is neither plant or it's not the animal also. Okay, and it is crucial for the ecological balance. Okay, and they exhibit very unique characteristic, okay, lifestyle, and they are very diverse also. So now just quickly learn about the general characteristics of the fungi. So the first characteristics is about the fungi is they are eukaryotic. Okay, so student, what does the eukaryote means? They have the membrane bound organelles, okay, including the nucleus and the mitochondria. Okay, the example is yeast. Okay, the second general characteristic about the fungi is that the cell wall, okay, so the cell wall is made up of chitin. Okay, chitin is a polysaccharide. Okay, so the cell wall is made up of chitin. It's a tough polysaccharide, and the example here is the rigid structure of mushroom cap. Okay, so you have seen the mushroom, so how tough it is. Okay, the cap, so it reflects the strength that is provided by the chitin. Okay, so example is mushroom if you want to see the toughness provided by the chitin. Okay, the third is about the mode of the nutrition. Okay, so fungi, it absorb the nutrient, okay, from their environment, breaking down the organic material, okay, using the enzyme. So they exhibit the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, they cannot synthesize their own food, so they represent the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, example, you have seen the bread mold. Okay, so the bread mold, the name itself says that it is growing on the bread, so it will secrete amylase, so it will digest the starch that is present in the bread. Okay, so now let's talk about the habitat. Okay, so fungi, it inhabit in diverse environment. Okay, and basically it thrives in the place which is rich in the organic matter. Okay, so it need organic matter for its survival. Why? Because the mode of nutrition is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so basically since it needs the uh, organic matter also, so it is present in the three habitat: the terrestrial, okay, the second one is the aquatic, and the third one is the parasitic. Okay, so now let's talk about them one by one. So the fungi, they are present in the terrestrial, okay, land, and where you can find the fungi, you can find the fungi growing in the soil, decaying wood, or the leaf litters. Okay, if we are talking about the aquatic habitat, then they are found in the freshwater and the marine ecosystems. Okay, and if you are talking about the parasitic habitat, then they are living inside the host like plant or the animal. Okay, so example here I will give you is the terrestrial. For the terrestrial one, I will write in the blue. For the terrestrial one, the example is the saprophytic fungi penicillium. Okay, okay, so this fungi, it will exhibit the saprophytic mode of nutrition, and it will absorb its nutrition from the decaying matter. Okay, so it will just grow on the decaying fruits. Okay, and if we are talking about the parasitic fungi, then the example is the Puccinia. Okay, so Puccinia, it's a parasite on the wheat. Okay, and it will infect that crop also when it is overgrown. Okay, so now let's talk about the locomotion. So if we talk about the locomotion, the fungi, it cannot move, okay. However, the spores or the conidia can, okay. So they can move, okay, along with the flow of the wind also, okay, and they can spread and then pass on to the new material or the new substrate, and then they will start to colonize or grow there, okay. Now if we talk about the nutrition, so I already told you that they will, fungi, it will exhibit the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, okay. So basically it will display four kind of nutritional mode. That is, first is the saprophytic, okay. So we all know that saprophytic mode of nutrition, it involves feeding on the dead organic material, okay. So the example is the rhizopus, okay. So the rhizopus fungus, it exhibits the saprophytic mode of nutrition, okay, and it decomposes the bread and food. The second mode is the parasitic mode. So the example of the parasitic mode is the candida, okay. So candida, we all know, there is a species called Candida albicin. It's parasitic on human skin, okay. So it will cause the infection in the human. Now the mode of nutrition, the third one is the mutualistic, okay, mutualistic mode. So in this mode of nutrition, the fungus, it will form a symbiotic relationship, okay, so and absorb the nutrient, okay. So example here is mycorrhiza. The fourth mode of nutrition is the predatory nutrition, okay. So now what will happen in the predatory mode of nutrition, the fungus, it will capture and digest small organism, okay. The example is the nematode tramping fungi, okay. So student, since fungi is not autotrophic, it cannot make its own food, it has to dependent on the other species, okay. So these are the four mode of nutrition: saprophytic, parasitic, mutualistic and predatory. I hope they are clear to you. Now quickly let's talk about the reproduction. So fungi, it will display both the asexual reproduction, okay, and it will also display the sexual reproduction mode, okay. So in the asexual mode of reproduction, there are spores, okay, okay, like conidia is there, sporangia, okay. So these are produced. How these are produced? They are produced without gamete fusion, okay. That is why it is termed as asexual mode of reproduction, okay. So which fungi will go for the example of the asexual reproduction? The aspergillus, okay. It exhibits the asexual mode of reproduction. If you are talking about the sexual reproduction, so obviously it will involve the fusion of gamete, okay. And this will lead to the formation of the zygospores, ascospores or the basidiospores, okay. So which fungi is exhibiting the sexual mode of reproduction? Mushrooms, okay. Is that clear to you? Now we'll quickly talk about the classification types. So there are basically four type of fungi. The first one is the Zygomycota, okay. The second one is the Ascomycota, The third one is the Basidiomycota. And the fourth one is the Deuteromycota. Okay, so these are the 4 different types of fungus. So the Zygomycota, the name itself indicate it will produce the zygospores. Okay. Okay, and they will undergo the sexual reproduction. So I will write sexual reproduction. Okay. So example here is the rhizophus. Okay, there is no space left, so I will write it from the pen. I hope it is clearly visible to you. So example is the rhizophus. Now let's talk about the second types of fungus, that is Ascomycota. Okay, in this the spores, they are formed in a sac-like structure. Okay, so the spores are produced. Okay, ascospores. So where they are produced? They are produced in the sac-like structure that is known as asci. Okay, and the example is yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, and also the penicillium. If we are talking about the Basidiomycota, so they will produce the basidiospores. Okay, okay, on a club-like structure that is known as basidia, and this is obviously the sexual reproduction mode. Okay, so this is also the sexually producing fungi, and the example is the mushroom. Okay, the fourth kind of fungi is the Deuteromycota. Okay, and here there is no sexual reproduction. Okay, and this Deuteromycota, it is also known as imperfect fungi. Okay, so if in the exam it is asked to you that what is imperfect fungi, then you have to write that Deuteromycota is the imperfect fungi, and the example is the Candida albicans. Okay, Candida albicans. Okay, now we'll quickly talk about the important role of the fungi. So they are very good decomposers. Okay, so they will break down the dead organism, recycling the nutrients. Okay, like carbon and nitrogen. So example here is the saprophytic fungi. Okay, so the saprophytic fungi, we know that they are growing on the dead decaying material, so they will convert they will recycle forest litter into the humus. Okay, then the fungus will also exhibit the mutualistic symbiosis. Okay, mutualistic symbiosis. So they will form the partnership like mycorrhiza, so that will help to improve the plant nutrient absorption. Okay, however, the fungus, they can be pathogenic also in nature. So pathogenic means they can cause disease in both animal and the plants. For example, Puccinia will cause the wheat rust in the wheat. Okay, and if we are talking about the human being, then the fungus Candida, it can cause skin infection to us. The fourth important use of the fungus is that it is used in the biotechnology. Okay, and it has application in the food, medicine, and industry. Okay, so I will not go in detail that what role they are playing, because in this we are going to quickly learn about only the feature or the characteristics of the Kingdom Fungi, and they're trying to develop a concept map. Okay, so if you want a detailed video on any aspect, you have just mention that in the comment so that I can make it for you in the video. Okay, so this is all in this video. So I hope it is clear to you, but before closing the video, I will just give you a quick view on the structure of the fungi. So fungi structure, I will make separate video later on the important topic. Okay, So basically the fungi, it consists of the hyphae, and hyphae, they are thread-like structures, okay, and they are formed, okay, and they are formed because they are required for the nutrient absorption, okay. And due to the fungal hyphae, we can see actually the visible fungus or mycelium growing on the decaying food, okay, and this will give, the hyphae will give the white cottony appearance to the fungus, okay. So whenever we see like the fungus, like cotton like fungus growing, this is because of the hyphae only, okay. So we are seeing the hyphae. Apart from the hyphae, the fungus also consists of the fruiting body, okay. So what are the fruiting body? The reproductive structures, like the conidiophores, okay. These are the fruiting bodies. These are designed to produce the spores. So example is the mushroom. It will develop a gills, okay, under the cap for the spore production, okay. The third important feature is that certain fungus, they will exist as a unicellular, okay, form. So what does it mean? That some fungi, they exist as a single cell like yeast, okay. Now we know that yeast is used in the fermentation, okay, to produce the carbon dioxide, okay. This will lead to the formation of bread dough, okay, rice. So student, this is all in this video. A quick recap about the fungi is that it's a unique kingdom, okay. It's neither plant or it does not it's not an animal, and it is very important for ecological balances, okay. And understanding its structure, life cycle and the roles, it's very important because it will provide insight into how fungus contribute to nature and the human life. So I hope if you learn the fungus like this, you will remember it. Okay, thank you for watching the video.